You know, listen, you've made tons of money in a lot of volatile stocks, including this one. Obviously, the key is that you've got to be able to hold through these sort of dips, right? You remind investors that whenever there are dips like this, that massive selling, there's somebody on the other side buying it, and you think they're usually smart buyers.
Well, you've just nailed it right there. Everybody loves a sale except when it's right in front of them. And the market's the only place in making that clear, right? And to your point, these are great, big, terrifyingly scary losses. But it's also the world we live in when you've got 85% of the market trading with computers, when you've got no regard for the fundamentals of the underlying business program. One of the reasons I can look at a stock like Nvidia or Palantir and say I'm going to buy more is because I know where the business is going and I can dismiss the short-term noise. It's not easy, but that's what you got to do.
All right, so let's talk about some of these names, okay? First, before we get to this chart, I want to ask you, since we're on the topic of Nvidia, they report after the bell. It almost goes without saying they're going to crush it, but that's not necessarily enough. What are you expecting from the company and the reaction from the market?
Well, those are two very different things. I'm expecting to see what I call a beat and repeat. I'm expecting to see very strong numbers, but I'm expecting that all of the folks are going to backseat quarterback this, talk about supply and DeepSeek and this, that, and the other thing until the cows come home tomorrow. I'm going to dismiss all that. I'm going to be looking for any weakness as an opportunity to buy. I think the stock more than doubles. AI is a multi-trillion-dollar proposition that is still early days.
All right, let's talk about Tesla. It's a name that you're associated with. People on X have been saying, ask Keith about Tesla. It's come down a whole lot. Some would say you got two big gaps there. Maybe eventually goes there and fills those gaps. What are you telling folks on Tesla? I know obviously the hold. Are you buying more now?
Yeah, I am. I hope I'm smart enough to buy a whole lot more, actually, because this is another one of those companies where if you keep an eye on where this is going, take Musk out of it. Get rid of that. Think about robotics. Think about AI. I think those two things may be worth more 10 years down the road than the entire company is worth today. So this is Apple 2014 with regard to Tesla now.
All right, buy, put it on the shelf, folks, and don't look at it, is what Keith is telling you. People are looking at Palantir now. I'll tell you, I had subscribers take profits here in that big gap up. I felt a little dumb there. I feel better right now here. And I think under 90 is attractive. I haven't been able to pull the trigger yet. What I thought was interesting with you, I read where you say Doge, which many people think is the reason it's down. You say that's actually a blessing for the company.
It is. And again, this is just an instance where people aren't thinking clearly. They're looking at the defense cuts and saying, oh my gosh, they're going to cut back. But, you know, we're a military family. You served as well. You know what the deal is. They want to make our war fighters more lethal. They want to make our deterrence a factor. So what they're going to do is reallocate those budgets. This is great for a stock like Palantir, whose business model is predicated on making everything more efficient. So I'm all in it. I think the expenditures are actually going to go up when it comes to doing this. The Pentagon is going to double down on AI, and Palantir is going to get them there.
All right. Keith, you know, again, these are the tough times. This is the most important time to come on the show, and that's why I appreciate it. It's one thing when they're making all-time highs. It's another thing when they get a little rocky and people get a little nervous. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you, Charles.
All right, buddy. Hey.